Yesterday, my husband Caleb walked you through the dump truck, what the truck needs to be covered for once the material's loaded and it's rolling down the road. Today, I want to back up a step to where that dirt came from in the first place. The dig, the clearing, the site work. Because excavation and land clearing is one of the trades where I most often see a policy that looks fine on paper and has a hole in the middle of it, sometimes literally. I'm Crystal with Barbee Jackson. We're an independent agency, which means we're not here to steer you to one carrier. We're here to make sure the coverage matches the work. So let's go through the 5-part program an excavation or land clearing operation actually needs, and the 2 or 3 things that trip people up. Number 1 is general liability. This is your third-party foundation. Bodily injury and property damage to someone who isn't you or your employee. You work with big equipment that can do big damage. It is your general liability that will cover damages to others caused by the operation of that equipment. Most contracts you'll sign want to see somewhere around $1 million per occurrence and $2 million aggregate. That's fine, that's the floor. But here's the part that's specific to what you do, and it's the single most important thing I'll say in this video. A lot of standard general liability or GL policies exclude or seriously limit what the industry calls the XCU hazards. This is explosion, collapse, underground property damage. Now read that back. Explosion, collapse, and underground damage is excavation. That's not an edge case for you, that's just Tuesday. So if your GL quietly excludes XCU, you're carrying a policy that leaves out your core operation. This is a confirm it, don't assume it situation, and it's exactly the kind of thing we go through line by line. Number 2 is contractors' pollution liability. Every general liability policy has a pollution exclusion in it. And excavation and land clearing kick up the exact things that exclusion is written to keep out. Disturbed soil that turns out to be contaminated, silt and sediment washing off your site into a stream or storm drain, that's a release and regulators treat it like one. A hydraulic line or fuel tank on your equipment that lets go. Your GL is not going to answer for the cleanup or the third-party claim on any of that. Contractors' pollution liability is the piece that does. And if you watch Caleb's video, he made the same point on the trucking side. Motor truck cargo doesn't pay to clean up a spill, neither does commercial auto. Same idea, different seat. Your dig site, GL doesn't pay to clean up a release. Pollution is its own conversation on both sides of this business. However, one policy may cover both the site and auto pollution exposure. Number 3 is your equipment. And for an excavation outfit, this is a big one because so much of what your business is worth is sitting on tracks. Excavators, dozers, skid steers, loaders, all the attachments that go with it, and the smaller tools. That gear is not covered by your general liability, and it's not covered by your auto policy either. It lives under what's called contractor's equipment or inland marine. In some cases, this can be an endorsement to the GL, but often it must be written separately. 2 things I want you to think about here. 1 is owned versus rented. If you rent or lease a machine to get a job done, make sure that you have rented equipment coverage because the rental contract is going to hold you responsible for it unless you buy it from them or have that protection. Second, how is the equipment covered? Newer equipment could be covered at replacement value. Older equipment at either stated amount or actual cash value. All 3 will pay out very differently, so it's important to discuss the options, differences, and pricing for each piece. Number 4 is commercial auto, and this is the theme where today's video meets with Caleb's. The trucks and trailers you use to move your equipment to the site and to haul dirt away, that's auto. Owned vehicles, and just as important, hired and non-owned auto. That's the gap that opens up when an employee runs an errand to grab something in their own truck while on the clock. Here's why I'm putting it right next to the dump truck video on purpose. A lot of excavation operations don't just dig, they haul too. And the minute you do both, you're living in two worlds at once. The contractor side and the transportation side. That's exactly where an agency like ours earns its keep, because we write both. And if you dig and haul, the two policies need to talk to each other, and somebody needs to be watching the seam between them. Number 5 is workers' compensation and employers' liability. If you've got employees, comp is statutory, meaning you have to carry it in most states. But I want to flag something specific to your trade. Excavation carries some of the higher hazard class codes in all of construction. Trench work, grading, working down in an open cut. That's cave in and struck by exposure, and it's rated accordingly. Employer's liability is the companion coverage that responds to certain suits that fall outside of the comp system. For a crew doing this kind of work, you want both, and you want the class codes rated to what your people are actually doing. So that's the 5, but before I let you go, 2 things to watch out for that I don't want you to miss. First, underground utility strikes. Call 811 every single time on every single job, because when you hit an unmarked or mismarked line, the claim is almost never just the pipe. Cut a fiber line and you can knock out a whole business district, and the business interruption claims that come out of that dwarf the cost of the repair. This is one of the most common claims we see in this class of business, and the payout adds up quickly. So call 811, document it, and confirm with us how your policy treats a strike. Second, earth movement, vibration, undermining, dewatering, the kind of thing that can crack the foundation of the building next door to your site. Whether and how that's covered depends on how the policy is written, so that's another one to confirm rather than assume. Here's my offer, and it's the same one Caleb made. Whatever you're carrying right now, send it over. Tell us what you dig, what you clear, and whether you haul, and we'll go through your setup line by line. No pressure, just a straight read from an agency that writes both sides of this work. I'm Crystal with Barbee Jackson Insurance. Give us a call at 850-389-2001 or find us at barbeejackson.com. We'll see you on the next one. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss a video. See you on the next one.